are 5 steps to damage-free box braids and faux locks. The first thing you want to do is start off with healthy hair. Long-term protective styles like box braids and faux locks are not meant for anyone recovering from damage. So for instance, if your hair is recovering from bleach, if it's been freshly relaxed and you have no new growth, at least 2 inches of new growth, you need to get your ends trimmed. These are all things that should be done prior to getting the box braids and the faux locks. So again, not all styles are created equal. Not everyone makes a candidate for box braids and faux locks. Specifically, if they're going to be beyond armpit length, you really have to have healthy hair in order to wear these styles. So I just want to point that out. This is not a hairstyle for everyone, but if your hair is healthy and if it's strong enough to maintain the weight of box braids that are going to be done long, faux locks that are going to be done long, then move on to the number 2. So number 2, do not leave the style in for more than 2 months at a time, even if it still looks good. I know a lot of times when we pay a lot of money to get our hair done, we want to try to make it last as long as it can. And if it starts looking good, right, we don't want to make any changes, but you got to take it down. You have to take it down so that your hair can be shampooed and deep conditioned thoroughly. Our hair grows on average ½ an inch a month. After 2 months, that's a full inch of new growth. That new growth really needs to be taken care of if length retention is the purpose of you wearing a protective style for that long, okay? Which it should be, because like I said, we all about progress, no setbacks, right? So if you're wearing this for progress, again, you want to make sure that you're not leaving them in too long. When you leave them in too long, what tends to happen is the ends of the hair have now been neglected. You can't deep condition when you're in box braids and faux locks. So being able to shampoo your scalp has nothing to do with the length of your hair. So what tends to happen is if you're chronically wearing box braids and faux locks and you see a lot of new growth, your ends are being neglected. So all you're seeing is new growth, and the length will be so weak when you try to wear your own hair, it's gonna end up having to be chopped off. So there's really not gonna be any progress within that. So again, don't leave the style in more than 2 months at a time, okay? Number 3, use the same amount of extension hair as you do your natural hair. This is extremely important, and I know that it changes the look of a style. So this is the reason why specifically faux locks can only be worn by people with healthy hair, healthy, strong hair naturally. Because if you have weak, fine hair that is not dense enough to carry the weight of that extension, you will end up losing it over time. And over time could be the one time that you decide to get them done. I've actually had clients that this happened to, where I didn't recommend that they get it done. They got them done anyway, and a couple of months later, they're coming back to me. Edges have been pulled out, not because the style was put in too tight, but because of the weight. So always keep that into consideration. Synthetic hair, like I said when I was talking about number 1, is much heavier than natural hair. You want to use the same amount of synthetic hair as natural hair. When you're wearing faux locks, that's impossible to do. When you're wearing box braids, that is possible to do. Now, that also means that the box braids that you're choosing aren't just box braids that everybody can wear. You have to choose a braider that understands the proper synthetic to natural hair ratio. So if you're the type of person who wants to wear box braids when none of your scalp shows and you have fine hair, you're setting yourself up for hair loss. Number 4, choose your braider wisely. I know a lot of times people have shared with me that they'll be in the mall or they'll be somewhere and they'll see someone with a style that they want, and get that stylist number, get that braider's number, and just book an appointment. You have to be proactive in the process when you're choosing a stylist if you don't want to end up being a victim in the chair. That means not just getting the number and getting the referral, but checking their social media, looking to see if they have consistent clients, looking to see if they show what the client's hair looks like when it's out of the extension. Another important thing that you have to do when you're choosing a stylist and you're about to get braids or faux locks is choose one that doesn't expect for you to come with your hair already prepared and ready to go. One thing about being a stylist is being able to take care of your client's hair. So if that stylist is telling you come with it already shampooed, deep conditioned, and blow dried, and you really don't have the education on what products to use that will make your shampoo process, your conditioning process, really what it needs to be, right? To go a couple of months without getting it done again, then this person is not going to be a good stylist for you. Do not allow yourself to just blindly choose a stylist. Do your homework, do your due diligence, find out how this stylist moves before you book your appointment. And number 5, use non-toxic braiding hair. It's super important for your scalp, for your body in general, to be using hair that is not going to be full of toxins that can cause inflammation on the scalp. You've done your due diligence with finding a good stylist, you've paid this money, or you've invested the time if you're braiding your own hair or doing your own faux locks, only to use hair that's gonna have your scalp inflamed. There's no point in doing that. It's really, again, setting you back. So make sure that you're using non-toxic braiding hair. Freetress makes one called clean rinse hair, where the hair's already been pre-treated. They don't treat it with toxins, so there's no toxic ingredients in the hair. It is still Kanekalon braiding hair. I've worked with the hair. It is really good on the hand, soft for your braider. If the braider says that they supply their own hair, make sure you find out what type of hair. If the stylist doesn't want to share with you the type of hair, then you have to do your job, which is let them know you only want to use non-toxic hair. And if they don't give you the name of what they're using, let them know you'll be bringing and supplying your own hair. So this wraps up the 5 steps that you should take to avoid having any type of damage when you get box braids and faux locks done. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you have any stories that you might want to share. Peace, and see you in the next video.